Heather Dawson. Just 6 golf courses in California make Golf Digest list of the top 100 public courses in the U.S. Audra Stafford takes us to one of the state's top-rated public courses, Madeiras Golf Club in Poway.
Just 6 golf courses in California make Golf Digest list of the top 100 public courses in the U.S. I'm here at one of them, Madeiras Golf Club in Poway. Tucked away in the rolling hills of North San Diego County, Madeiras offers amazing views from the first tee to the 18th green.
Madeiras is actually a Spanish word for woods. And as you see and can look around, there are some amazing vistas that really capture the natural habitat in the surrounding area.
The course includes a lot of twists, turns, and steep slopes.
One of the cool things about this particular layout is how truly memorable each of the golf holes are.
Every hole is a little bit different and it never ever gets boring.
And that's part of the reason Golf Digest chose Madeiras as one of the nation's top 100 public courses.
It's the biggest golf publication in the world, so to be on that list is really quite an honor.
It really was like winning the Academy Award for Best Picture. It was that cool. There are only 6 top 100 golf courses in the state of California, only 2 here in San Diego, one of which is the iconic Torrey Pines Golf Course, and the other is us.
General Manager Bill O'Brien says a number of factors landed Madeiras on this very prestigious list. In addition to the beautiful ambiance, Golf Digest looked at the conditions, service, and amenities, like the grill.
We have a great chef, and he cooks delicious food, and it's inspired by Southern California and all things local.
Now show me a practice swing.
Madeiras also has a golf academy on site for golfers of all ages and skill levels.
Now commit to that on the ball. So we've got 3 really good instructors who have won local and national awards. We've got some great playing schools and some short game schools. We do on-course lessons and private lessons too, and we're home to the USA Junior National Team. Perfect. It's a great golf course for beginners, intermediates, and elite players.
And because it's a public course, anyone can play at Madeiras.
We're very much available 7 days a week. We host a number of different tournaments each year.
And right now, golfers can take advantage of Madeiras' endless summer promotion.
Now through Labor Day, golfers can save as much as 50% when they book their starting time, and for as little as $85 can play all day with unlimited replay and access to our driving range.
So you might want to grab your clubs and get swinging.
It really should be on someone's bucket list to play a top 100 golf course.
It's now reached a legacy of 67 years in the Coachella Valley. The PGA American Express Golf Tournament has been looked upon as the launching pad for each tour season, and this year's event was greeted with another great round of great weather and good-sized crowds who were looking at a great field of players, including world number 1, Scottie Scheffler.
I mean, yeah, the courses are in good shape. You got good weather conditions. I think that's a recipe for some low scores when you got guys with the amount of talent that we have out here on tour. I think when you get those two things together, you're going to see some low scores.
Some of the early rounds are quite unique for this tournament, as the field is spread over 3 separate golf courses in La Quinta, as the 156 players get nearer to the final cut after round 3. And it was in those first couple of rounds that big storylines began to emerge. Scottie Scheffler was once again battling at the top of the leaderboard, but it was 18-year-old phenom Blades Brown that was stealing the show after shooting a second round of 60. Even the world number 1 was truly impressed.
No, I mean, these kids coming out, they know they got to come out and make some birdies, and I think when you're coming out young, you don't have as much scar tissue as the guys that are a little bit more seasoned, and you just come out and if you want to make a name for yourself, you got to put up some good scores, and sounds like an 18-year-old should pretty good start to his little career there.
But in the final round, it was a tight battle with Scheffler taking center stage, and who for the first time in his young and illustrious career grabbing a win with his first start to the year, and has likely laid a strong foundation for another strong PGA season.
Scottie Scheffler has done it again. He is now a 20-time winner on the PGA Tour.
You got to go out there, and there's a reason we play the tournament. There's a reason why we have to finish off the tournament. You don't get awarded the trophy on the 16th hole. You got to finish the tournament. And I was going against two guys today in the final group that are really, really talented players. I mean, Siwoo has so much talent. He's so good at golf. And then Blaze, this is my first time seeing him, but anybody, at 18 years old that can make it into the final pairing of a PGA Tour event's doing something right. And then there was plenty of other guys behind us chasing us. And so, and it's a golf course where you got to go out there and make birdies. So there was a lot of challenges today, but I'm proud of the way we played and put up a nice run.
So, in a great finish with a strong cast of players and another grand contribution to the charities of the local community, along with some first-rate entertainment, the American Express Tournament has set the standard for the 2026 PGA season. From La Quinta, California, this is J.R. Ibarra for Coast to Coast.
Our next guest turned his passion for motocross into starting the leading sports sponsorship platform, Hookit. Joining us in studio is CEO and co-founder of Hookit, Scott Tilton. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I love the name Hookit. You have to give me a little bit of background on that.
So interestingly, when we first started the company back in 2001, it was called Sponsor House, and the original platform was helping connect amateur athletes with potential sponsors, and we decided to change the name in 2010, and we went out to our athletes and asked them, what's the feeling that we instill when you're using Sponsor House, and the word that kept getting repeated over and over was, "You guys hook me up." And so we were looking for versions of that and ended up landing on Hookit, and that's the brand that stuck in 2010.
Coming from a TV background, we have Nielsen ratings. So we have ratings that tell us how well we're doing. And I mean, is that one way to describe exactly what Hookit kind of does for brands?
It's similar, but we take it a lot deeper into the actual data set that we're able to capture. So our whole business is focused around sponsorship analytics, working with global brands to really understand the effectiveness of their athlete, team, and league investments. Our main focus is on social media. And as we were building the company over the first 10 years, we just saw how massive social media was becoming. When we first started the company, there weren't even any social platforms in existence yet. MySpace came around shortly after we started, but then you had Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and Instagram. And these athletes started just building these massive followings on social, and we saw how important it was becoming as part of the whole sponsorship equation, and that's where we decided to focus our efforts on how do we aggregate data from social media to help show and demonstrate the value of these athletes, teams, and leagues to brands. And so that's how we approached it. But versus a rating, we actually track how many followers an athlete has, how much engagement they generate, specifically how they're promoting individual brands. So it's just a lot more granular than a generic rating and more specific to what is this particular partner doing for me as a brand.
And you do work with some very prominent brands. How does it help those brands specifically? Can you give me an example?
Sure. So most brands, sponsorship as an industry has always lagged behind other forms of marketing in the sense that it's really difficult to measure ROI from it. But it's still a massive category where brands are spending, ballpark numbers, $150 billion a year on sports sponsorship, sports marketing, and understanding the ROI from that is really challenging. So the best CMOs that we're working with now are taking a completely data-driven approach to how do I look at our different partners and assets, and how do we leverage that data to get better ROI and effectiveness out of each one of these partnerships. So that's really what we're seeing is the industry as a whole is evolving into this very data-minded, like how do we treat sponsorship like any other form of marketing where we can understand the ROI that's coming from it. And so that's really the biggest trend and shift that we're seeing in the space today is brands are driving this behavior to use data to make sponsorships more effective.
What's the future right now for Hookit?
We just see the industry continuing to evolve and get much more data-driven, and technology, data, analytics is the wave of the future. So that's where we see things going.
Well, it's really impressive. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think we'll be hearing a lot more about Hookit.
Thank you.
Scott Tilton, thank you so much for joining us.
Pregnancy is an exciting moment in life, and for expectant mothers, it can also bring questions about how to keep yourself and your baby healthy. Maternal vaccines not only help protect you from severe disease, but they also help your body create immunity that's passed on to your baby. Here to talk about vaccines during pregnancy is Dr. Naima Joseph, a maternal fetal medicine specialist who works with the Society for Maternal Fetal Medicine.
Yeah, thank you. So as you mentioned, I'm a maternal fetal medicine, which is just fancy for high-risk pregnancy doctor. And in my practice, it's my job to make sure that every pregnancy has a healthy start, and vaccines play an important role for that. I tell my patients that, vaccines provide this 2 for the price of 1 benefit, especially with the respiratory vaccines, because we know that those infections do pose a really high risk to moms during their pregnancy. So that way the baby is born with protection, and it protects the baby from also having complications during those really vulnerable first 6 months of life.
Are there particular vaccines that you recommend and why?
Yeah, so currently it's recommended that pregnant people stay up to date with their COVID vaccines, their flu vaccines, as well as RSV vaccine if they have not received it in a previous pregnancy. And additionally, we recommend the pertussis vaccine during the 3rd trimester. And that's because these infections have been shown to cause higher risk of complications during the pregnancy, but also infants are incredibly vulnerable to these pathogens, and we know that vaccination protects the infants.
You mentioned getting vaccines in the 3rd trimester, but is there a particular time of year that maybe they're more beneficial? And the obvious question for a lot of people is, are they safe?
Yeah. So the COVID and the flu vaccine, as well as RSV, are what we call seasonal vaccines. So they're recommended to be given during respiratory viral season, which is fall to winter. Pertussis is year-round, and so that can be given anytime the person's in their 3rd trimester. What I tell pregnant women is that really, as soon as you're eligible to get your vaccine, you should get it. There's no trimester-specific timing for COVID and flu, because those vaccines really work to protect you from infection. And we have lots and lots and lots of information from clinical trials, from observational studies, from surveillance networks in the United States and internationally that tell us that these vaccines are safe.
A lot of information here, maybe hard to digest it all at once. Is there a place that viewers can go and get more information, learn a little bit more about what we're talking about?
Sure. So as you mentioned, I work with the Society for Maternal Fetal Medicine, and people are welcome to go to our website, highriskpregnancyinfo.org, and in order to get more information.
Fantastic. Great information. Dr. Naima Joseph, thank you so much for being on Coast to Coast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, imagine going to the doctor for what you think is a broken leg, only to find out it's something even more serious. That happened to Dave, and Dave is one of our guests today, along with Dr. Robert Rifkin. Dave, let's start with you. You broke your leg a while back, went to the doctor to get treated, and got a little bit of a surprise.
I did. It had actually started when I went to my primary care provider for my annual physical, and they drew blood, and the next day they let me know I was very anemic, and they set up an appointment with an oncologist, and they drew blood. And while waiting for the diagnosis, I was leaving work one evening, and I stopped in the men's room. I slipped and fell, and I broke my femur. And while I was lying in the hospital bed waiting for surgery to be done, I was told I had multiple myeloma, and I'd never heard of it before. I had no idea what it was. The surgery then proceeded, and I was released 2 days later. I went back to see the oncologist, and he told me I had a very aggressive form of the disease, and my treatment began.
Wow. And doctor, what exactly is multiple myeloma?
So multiple myeloma is a form of a blood cancer, and this year approximately 36,000 new cases will be diagnosed in the United States, and more importantly, over 150,000 patients are living with the disease. It is a disease of plasma cells that then disobey normal patterns of growth and regulation, and they can injure bone, as in Dave's case.
Well, before I was diagnosed, I've always been somebody that's liked to do a lot of my own work around the house, and I noticed I was getting tired middle of the day, and I just did not associate this with anything other than maybe being a little bit older and maybe hurting myself doing all these chores. And as it turned out, it certainly was not the case.
So, Dr. Rifkin, for people like Dave who are diagnosed with this, are there treatments?
Well, this is an exciting time because in multiple myeloma, there's a whole host of new drugs. But most importantly, Blenrep is a new drug approved by the FDA in combination with bortezomib and dexamethasone. This is used to treat patients such as Dave with multiple myeloma that has come back or maybe didn't respond very well to 2 or more treatments. There's a lot of great educational resources available. Multiple Myeloma Research Foundation, the International Myeloma Foundation, and GSK has outstanding educational material on the new approval of Blenrep.
Well, Dave, we wish you all the best, and thank you also, Dr. Robert Rifkin, for being with us on Coast to Coast.
And that's it for us. If you missed any part of our show, please go to our website. Don't forget to check out our podcast, follow us on our social media, and we'll see you next time.